maintain an openness to the market and allowing telecoms to enter. Telecoms have created an interesting competition to traditional cable and pay TV platforms, particularly in Singapore and to a certain extent in Hong Kong and Malaysia, where TN is progressing slowly. But that competition has allowed rights holders, such as the Premier League, to provide a comprehensive service, a Premier League channel, which previously wasn't in the market. And they've used the exploding rights fees to fund the development of programs. And I think the trend is going to be for that money to be rolled back into the content to allow rights to viewers to access the content on many different screens. But this is only applicable to major events, to major rights, where the funding is there. And the Premier League, obviously, in this part of the world, is the one that comes in over year in, year out to be able to do that. But the challenge for the platforms is they only have a 3-year cycle to be able to leverage that. And we see this in Singapore, where Singtel had rights for 3 years. The end of the 3 years is now. And beyond what they're providing in opening up 8 to 10 channels, providing concurrent coverage, there isn't much else to make the product, to allow the fans to sit in the middle of the product, to be at the center of the sport. That is left to other bodies, such as clubs who may have a social platform, or brands who may provide other experiences through promotions and ticketing. So it's not evolved. There's lots of room for development. But from a rights holder's point of view, we're tied down by 3-year cycles. The only ones who don't tie themselves down to 3-year cycles are the major events such as the Olympics and the World Cups of this world, who are able to, over 2 cycles, improve their product through huge leaps. And they work with partners in a different way. But again, I think they're able to leverage that in markets such as Europe. I think the Olympics last year in London was critical to BBC's transition to a digital signal and at the end of the analog service. That happened at the same time, and they were able to leverage it with the right player as well, their OTT service. So those major events are in a completely different class to leagues such as Indonesia, where I think my challenge is trying to bring dollars into an on-ground experience and a content that's available. The touch points are much more localized.
Are you advocating from a rights standpoint? I mean, obviously a lot of rights are available, longer than 3 years, depends on the deal.